This world is such a and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal
I swear,
sense.
man, we got the ghost of Pac in the studio right now.
It's such a gimme. Step, crush.
They try to stop me, man.
Look,
Everybody back off.
put me down, try and put me down. I'ma hit him up like an outlaw. Combination, hit him with a southpaw. Knock him out in the first round, y'all. Voice of my city like town hall. Round more pounds than stray dogs. I can make it flood in a drought, y'all. Never gon' settle. All I do is get better. All I do is get cheddar. Pulling up, blowing pressure. Outlaw shit forever. Deep in the trenches, I'm riding dirty, I'm reckless. I got this bitch sitting next to me and she love when I check. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, it's the Outlaw Show with your guy, EDI. Man, I'm super honored and excited to have as my new guest. This is Julian Marley right here, man. Live from Miami. I appreciate you coming through to top it up with me today, man. How are you?
Doing good, my brother. Give thanks for having me, All right.
Yeah.
How you doing there?
Huh?
How's everything going there?
Everything is going wonderful out here, man. No complaints, man. Appreciate your patience. I know it took a little bit of time to get started, but we ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I want to start at the beginning. What's going on with you right now? You working on any new music?
We're always working on some new music, Writing is every day. Every day, there's some work to be done somehow in the music, So every day we're working on some new songs. I've been recording over the last couple of months. So we soon have some new music for the fans and the people, Some good soul food,
Yeah. Nice.
So a lot of works in the making.
Beautiful, and I'm sure all your fans are waiting for it. Is there any idea where you're going to drop anything new?
We're open next month.
Oh, soon.
Yeah, next month.
Beautiful.
Yeah, hopefully next month we'll have something.
Nice.
A new single. New single, to keep the fans busy while we are working on a project,
Right. Just in time for the summertime.
Yes.
Nice. So I want to go back to the beginning with you, Julian. What was life like for you as a youth, as growing up as a kid?
Well, I grew up in London,
Right.
Yeah, at 5 years old, our father transitioned to Zion. So basically grew up with my mother and like my granny, my granddad, the elder folks, So growing up in England, I would say that give thanks that we had the opportunity to grow rutical, to grow, I would say, to grow like any other child, not to grow as they would say, son of legend or this and that. Because we grow when we was kids, we didn't even really know what it was all about. Because you're a kid, so, we take the bus, we hop the bus, we go to school, I would like to say probably my generation is the first people who drive in the family. So it's coming from, we're coming from,
Yeah.
Yeah, the younger generation more outgoing, So we're coming from foundation roots, and we get a nice feed of life, in the eyes of any other person, because we are all equal the same way. So we must all, get the same picture of life, and give thanks to our father, for being who he is, that we grew up with such of a strong inner conception, which continues this day,
Yeah. And your father's music has such an impact on so many people, including myself. What was that? What made you want to do music, or did you get inspired by something else?
Well, I would have to say, even before we knew what music was, you knew that your father was playing music. So it's almost like you already have the inspiration right in front of your eyes,
Right.
So it's almost like you grew up in a I don't even know what to call it, in something that you love, or something that is so nice that when you hear it, and you're able to just approach it right away because you have a closer connection to the music, which is our father, you know.
Yeah.
So probably the first music that I really pay attention to was my father music. And yes, that made me want to play music because music was inside, but it's almost like when you see something that you like, you've never seen it before you like, but you say, I might try that. Your friend won't try it, but you might. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how the music is. It kind of, it's something that you find a connection to right away, even without the knowledge, you know?
Yeah.
So it's coming from young days, man, I tell you. Yeah, from ever since I can remember, music was on the mind, you know?
And I mean, for your dad's music to be the first music that you hear, that's great quality right there. Your ears were trained to great music at an early stage in life. When did you really start recording and wanted to be a professional, quote unquote, professional with music? What age were you?
Well, the first time, maybe the first time I touched the stage, you know, because stage was before recording, you know. It's easy to get a guest appearance on a show,
Same
but to
with
do a
me.
recording, doing
Right.
a recording, that's a big move, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first time I did a stage show was probably like 1989, you know, and I was probably like 12 or so,
Uh-huh.
you know. So being able to touch the stage with my uncle's band, he had a little band called Copacetic, you know,
Uh-huh.
which was based out of Miami. So getting to play with them on weekends, you know, obviously because we go to school in the week. So Friday night, Saturday night, that's my night to jam out on the stage once we get the call, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the first introduction to the music in that kind of professional way, you know. And then the journey of learning music and really developing music, learning how to really write a song, all of that took more years than just, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's
You had
another
to perfect the
experience.
craft over time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the first album I ever did was in 1996, which was called Line in the
1996.
Morning. So that was the first album. So basically, the first introduction to music,
Yeah,
to the whole world of music with with a project or something, you know.
yeah. That's
So
amazing that you said that year because that's when I was introduced to the game in 1996 with Tupac,
yeah,
who's somebody I grew up with, another great legend,
it's
and
true, my brother.
you have to walk in those footsteps. Do you notice any similarities between your dad and Tupac? Because a lot of people like to put them together, but
Yeah,
you knew your dad personally. I knew Tupac personally. What do you see in similarities between those two guys?
we see is standing for something that no one else was brave enough to stand for.
Amen. Amen.
That's number one, you know, standing for something where no one else wanted to go up there and say that.
That's at the top.
Yeah, and those words were needed, you know, all of those words from Tupac to Bob Marley and probably some more artists that we don't even call at the moment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important. Their role was so important because even Tupac, you know, it's hip hop, and but what he's saying, when you listen to what he's saying, no one else was saying what he's saying. And that's because him have a deeper connection. You know, I always go back to something we call a spiritual connection,
Yeah.
to something deeper. You get a knowledge that is bigger than you know?
Yeah.
But you've been given that talent and that blessing to really bring to the world, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a very, you know, very special in that sense, you know.
Right.
Even, you know, and I would even personally, I know that we would have met him if, you know, if everything was a different way, we would have probably met a couple months later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is
Definitely.
how the connection, you know, it's a spiritual journey, you know.
For sure.
And we don't get to meet, but we're all on the same. The mission is to feed the people with something positive, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And we
Yeah.
all grew up with the music and loving the music, so that connection definitely would have happened at some point. I want to switch
Yeah.
it up a little bit right now and ask you if you had three cities. I'm gonna give you three cities, and I want you to pick one that if you had to live in, you had no other choice, you would choose. It's Miami, London, and any beautiful place in Jamaica. If you had to
Man,
pick one.
a beautiful place in Jamaica. You just said it, man. A beautiful place in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
We
Cause
we-
look, I
that
want to buy a
word
house
beautiful.
in Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica 6 times. It's my favorite place to vacation.
Ah,
You know,
man.
I
Yeah.
always go. I love it, and my dream is to build a house out there. Actually,
Needed. We need it,
I
man.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Serenity, peace, everything what you're looking for, you know.
Yeah,
When I go down to Jamaica, I say all I need, man, down here is a studio and a house.
that's it. That's
You
it.
know, because you need your
Jamaica
own
gives you
house,
everything else.
your
You
own
got everything
studio.
else. Jamaica gives you everything else. You don't need nothing else.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So look, I know it was a crazy past year or so with everything that's been going on in the world, especially with COVID. You know,
Yeah.
how have you been personally dealing with it, and do you have any wisdom you would like to give the people moving forward? Because the world is definitely changing because of this pandemic, and you know, a lot of
Yeah.
different opinions with vaccines and COVID
You know
testing.
what?
How do you feel about it?
Why? What I say, we're living in Babylon. See, so when you check out what Babylon is the city of confusion. Now, Babylon is spread out so far now that you have to kind of listen to this inner voice inside of you. You can't even listen to, you have to listen to everybody. Have to listen to the inner voice. You get all the intelligence that you need and listen to your inner voice. For me, going through that time, which we're still going through it, in a sense, same way. Going through the time, I think I used it towards positivity, you know, because to tell the truth, I was already feeling something in the air, you know, and sometimes we have to listen to that. That's like I said, the inner voice, the inner feeling. Even about 6 months even before that, I was feeling something is going. Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but yeah, there was a feeling that came over me where I felt something, and then so felt, so seen,
Yeah.
and so experienced also. So when I saw, being having that conception, kind of drive me to a positivity. So basically, I spent that time to write a lot of songs and to get fit
Right.
and to eat up some good food
Right.
and to praise up the Almighty some more and to get things right. Because after the storm, there's the calm. And when the calm comes, we got to be ready, because that means it's our time to continue doing the good works that we are doing, all of us. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. No doubt.
So I use it as a very great inner strength. I use it to build up my inner, myself as an inner person, to be able to really write some stronger songs and not making it be difficult, just knowing that, oh, this is the experience that we felt. Anything that comes out in a song is natural, Yeah. But I do know has been an enhancement just through that experience.
Right.
You can't really explain exactly what it is, but everyone growth somehow,
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And musically, you chose to stay more towards roots and reggae as opposed to, the generation we grew up in. Dancehall was very big. Why did you do that?
How I did it? I did it because I can play an instrument, So sometimes you get carried away with your instrument.
Yeah.
You be in this one field, and this one field be so nice, and you're just like, all right, instead of saying, hey, let me hear what this other brother over here has got. Let me see if I can hear some other sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, roots, reggae is the foundation, because
for sure,
music really, really is about the word, really, what we're saying in the music. But to say that, like, I'm a musician, I listen to everything. I listen to hip hop, jazz, dancehall, funk, old school, classical when I'm ready. If I want to change the mind frame on something, you know what I'm saying? So loving all kind of music, it makes you kind of, when you hear something comes your way, like if someone brings a piece of music and it's got to feel like something like, I don't know, who knows, a classical kind of R&B or whatever it is, or hip hop or reggae. it's gonna make me feel like, yeah, now I get to try out some things that I used to think about, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But sometimes by yourself, you can't really create that music. So it's good, obviously, when you're working with other producers, other musicians that can bring out those feels, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, Julian, my show is super cannabis friendly, man. You know, I
Yes,
smoke
sir.
on air. You know, I live in Los Angeles.
What kind of air?
Yeah.
You tell me that.
Oh, nah, they didn't tell you? Oh, yeah,
No, man.
we smoking on air, man. I just finished a joint. I gotta roll up another one. But I know
Me
you
too,
had
then.
products as well. I wanted to give you a chance to shout out your product line that you got, Juju Royal.
Yes, the new that's my brand, Juju Royal. You know, right now we're dealing a lot of CBD products, more medicinal purposes. You know, so you can find like your heat rub, like for people that got like aches and pains. We have a little CBD rub thingy that you just rub on, and you know, and me being the ageable that we are in these days. I love to play soccer. I like to play. I like to play soccer. So sometimes I get a little ache in my ankle, you know.
Right.
So I use that and get a nice ease up the pain. So I'm saying, oh, look at the beauty of herb, you know, and being an advocate not just of myself, but even another generation before me, like my father's generation, which paid the heavier price of even just speaking about herb.
True.
You know, in Jamaica it was like 6 months. You get 6 months in prison for like a roach, like something not longer than your fingernail, and you get 6 months. So imagine those like, you know, that's what those guys went through in those days. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when we see this now, and obviously it's a business, so we have to be a part of the business because, yes, you've been oppressed for it for so long. So not just because it become a business do we become timid and maybe no, we have to be a part of it also.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know, so educating the people about the good benefits of the herb, as well as how it do the goodness of your mind and your spirit and the vibration that it gives you also, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but we have the Juju Royal, and you can check it out on jujuroyal.com, you know, and find our latest products. We have a cooking oil, olive oil, CBD infused olive oil, garlic flavor, jerk flavor. Yeah. We have about 3 different flavors, which is good for your salad, good for your cooking. And
I'm gonna definitely check it out and make sure I order some. Y'all make sure y'all do the same thing. Juju, man, I gotta let you go, man. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm so thankful for you joining me, man, and chopping it up with me. And I want to shout out Krista for hooking it up. And you know, we're gonna continue to communicate, man, outside of this spectrum right here, man, because I definitely want to tap in with you musically as well.
Give thanks, my brother. That would be great.
Yes, indeed, man. Peace and love, man. Have a good night.
Blessings, my brother. Give thanks.
Yeah. Julian Marley, ladies and gentlemen.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean an ideal
I swear,
sense.
man, we got the ghost of Pac in the studio right now.